Hello and welcome. I'm Cindy Daychek with Queen Bee Creations and welcome to the channel. We are just kind of cruising out of New Year's here and I'm starting to look ahead toward Valentine's Day. I want to admit right up front, I'm not a huge Valentine's decorator. So, do you guys zhuzh up your house and decorate for Valentine's, or is this just something that you just celebrate Valentine's that one day? Or do you even celebrate it at all? I don't know. So I wanted to do a little Valentine's Day craft with you. So something that would be giftable, something that would be fun, it would be cozy. You could make it for yourself and love on it. I'm open to any of those things. So something that was practical as well as super cute. So that's what we're gonna do. And to start, what I did get was I picked up some lamb's wool fleece. So really it's just a fleece, but it's super cozy, super thick, super comfy. You could do this with regular fleece fabric. You could do this, same thing with a jersey knit fabric. You could do it with a felt. You just need to use a fabric that when you cut it isn't going to fray. This is a no-sew project. And if you follow me, you know I like things with minimal to no sewing. It's not my strength. So what I do want to do before I start cutting anything is I do want to check. I don't need a sale thing. The nice thing about this is that this stuff is usually pretty expensive. So here, like $25, $27 a meter, something like that. Right now, because it's after Christmas, after the new year, and as much as we're still anticipating snow, it's going to be moving into spring, along with people's thoughts and ideas, so it's on sale. So I got this for $12 a meter, and I bought a ½ meter of each color. So what I am looking at is I want to make a template first. So before I start cutting, I don't want to cut freehand because I only have so much fabric. So I just wanted to see the height of my fabric, which goes to just about there. So I just want to cut this off just to ensure that when I cut out a template that it's not going to be taller than my fabric is, which kind of makes sense. All right, now you can make pillow hearts, and you can make your pillow hearts any size you want, but because of, and you're going to see as we go along in the project, but because of what we're doing, you're going to want to make it fatter than my template paper, I think. So you're going to want to make it bigger than your final stuffed pillow. All right, because we're doing the no-sew thing, and I want to have this fabric folded. I just want to cut once each color. So I'm going to want this folded over such that my template will go over top of it. And so what I was saying was I'm thinking that I want my heart to maybe be slightly, you guys can't see that anyway. So let me show you without looking at me. So what I'm thinking is that I want my heart to come out further than my template is, maybe. Because I am conscious of the space I'm gonna lose. So I'm just gonna draw that, and let me pull this over just a little bit more, just so I'm not wasting extra fabric, because if I love this, I might want to do another one. You never know. I like to leave that possibility. So what I'm looking at is this becomes half of my heart. So I want to take this out, kind of following along here and coming in down there. I think I can fake that part without agonizing over it. So all that I'm going to do is, because I'm making it a big honkin' heart, so I just think that as a first effort, there we go. I just did not want to go through there. I'm going to start with the big one, and then I can make some smaller ones if I like. So, oh, these are dull pins. Okay, so all that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut out this shape from my red fabric, and then I am going to use my red fabric as a template to cut out a matching one in my white. So I'm going to do a red and white pillow the first time round, and then if I like it, then maybe I'll do a red and pink, and maybe I'll do a white and pink, you know, I don't know. So I'm just going to get this cut out, and then both my fabrics cut out, and then I'll come back at you. Okay, I've got both of these cut out, and it ends up being this big heart. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I probably didn't need to come down this low in my V. Maybe my point should have come up maybe about 2 inches higher. You'll see what I mean as I go. So the cool thing about this fabric is that there's really no right or wrong side to it. So what we're going to do is just match up our white and our red fabric. Get them lying on top of each other roughly. And then I will take those pins that don't mind going through fabric, just didn't like going through paper. And I am going to pin these, but I'm going to pin them in further up than I did. You'll see why in a moment. So you're going to pin all the way around them. And what we are going to do is cut slits all the way around our pillow form. So that's why I want the pins to be in a little bit. Okay, I've been using these pins for too many other crafts that involve glue, I think. Because they're brutal. That's a problem when you have them in a work craft room kind of idea that they get used for everything. Okay. So there we have it. Our next step is to go all the way around, and we want to cut, and I'm just thinking, how do I want to start this one? I'm going to start on either side. So you're going to want to go down maybe 2 inches, 2.5 inches with all of these cuts, because this is what we're going to use to tie our pillow together. So instead of sewing, we're going to tie, and in essence, we're going to create a fringe all the way around. So just keep cutting these all the way around, and you just have to be a little bit conscious of the fact that you're going to be making turns. So some of these are going to be a little bit wider at the bottom as you start to try and angle it out to make your turn. That's okay. When we go to tie it and stuff it, none of that will even show. But we're just going to be cutting. And because I'm not sewing this at all, I just like having more of the ties than fewer, so that the knots are all closer together, the stuffing's not gonna leak out, you're gonna have more of a fringe, okay? So you just need to make them long enough. You need to make them long enough that you can tie them. So that's the only thing that you need to consider. But if you're using this fabric or the jersey, it stretches, so you're gonna have less of an issue. If you're using felt, it doesn't have as much of a give, as much of a stretch when you go to tie it. So felt, you may need to plan your design to give you a little bit more length. All right, I am gonna carry on. I'm gonna carry on cutting because you don't need to watch me cut all the way around, and I'll come back at you for the next step. Once we have all of our cuts made, it is time to start tying. So the cool thing about this project is that it really is super easy. One, it's gonna make up very quickly, but it is a great craft to be able to do with kids if you would like, because this kind of fabric, super easy to cut. And you know, if they're at an age where you don't trust them with sharp fabric scissors, then if they can tie knots, then get them to tie the knots. If, you know, maybe you've got multiple children, one can do the cutting, one can do the tying, one can do the stuffing, right? So you got a couple of ways to be able to go here. So the knot tying is super easy. I mean, really, you're gonna go all the way around, but leave an opening that's hand size for the next step, which is putting the stuffing in. But all that we are going to do is we are going to take the two pieces that are lined up together. So in my case, one's white, one's red. I'm going to just tie a simple knot, right? And what you're going to find, if you are doing this double colored, like I am, with the front and back, you're gonna end up with your back color on top. So you end up with the contrast around. But you are just going to, and this is kind of stretchy fabric, so just make sure that you're not pulling too much or under pulling. You want this to be serving to help seal your pillow, right, when we go to stuff it. But really, you just kind of sit here mesmerized, doing your own thing, you know, tying some knots as you go around, right? So you just do a normal little crossover knot. What's that called? A square knot? Maybe? I could be making that up. But that's it. So you're gonna go all the way around. I did this side already. So I've left this opening for my hand to do the stuffing, in which case I have got to go around now, tying all this amount of my pillow, and then I'll come back to you, and we can stuff and close together. But you can already see how really simple this is. And think about it from the standpoint of, I get that it's Valentine's, and so I'm doing a heart, and I'm doing it in red and white, and you know, I could do it in the pink that I've got if I choose to do another one. But you could do just a simple round pillow. You could do square pillows. The shape doesn't matter. You know, I think this would be cute if you're doing this with small children. Do a square, do a circle, and do a triangle. You know, so then they've got shaped pillows on their bed. And these are super cuddly if you're doing them in the fleece, so they're nice and soft. But again, it's just kind of a fun, quick little way to get them engaged and get them helping you out. But hey, I'm on my own, and I'm a grown-up, and I'm having fun. So no kids are needed, just saying you could. So I'm gonna keep tying and I'm gonna come back at you as soon as I've got it ready to start the stuffing process. But I think that you get the idea of really how versatile this is and how quick it could set up for you. Okay, I've got this guy all tied except for the top. You can kind of see how those colors flip around. So I am just going to start stuffing it now. All right, so taking just a lot of my polyfill and stuffing it in there. I have this bag of old stuff that I'm gonna also use, so mix it up with the fluffier. And how much you put in is really your preference, is really your call. You know, how stiff do you want it? How poofy do you want it? You know, how squishy? I'm trying to think what other descriptive words would you use for a pillow? But, you know, largely this is just a decorative one, so we're not worried about how your sleep would be on this one. But it is more just a function of, you know, the overall look and feel of it. But you know, dead easy. You're just going to stuff this baby up. I think I'm going to want a little more stuffing from the box behind me. Just a little more. Okay, so my heart shape was, I would suggest making it a little bit higher and straighter down rather than the big lobes out the side, because it ends up, I mean, it still looks like a heart. It's just, you know, it's just a slightly different shaped heart. Oh, I got a mess of it down here on the floor that I missed. So that's probably good. And when I seal it, I can kind of portion it. So once you have it stuffed as much as you would like, you are just going to take your other ties and you are just going to tie them off like you did the other ones, and that's going to seal it closed. So no sewing, no gluing. I mean, it's awesome. And you gotta love how automatically, if you're tying that square knot, that you get those opposite colors on the opposite sides, which making it two-toned really kind of makes it super cute. So let me know what you think of this, guys. And if you give it a try, again, I think it's kind of a good kid-friendly craft. So if you've got children, grandchildren, have a couple of nieces and nephews, or, you know, borrow some of the neighbors' kids, they'll love you for it. give them an hour or two of freedom, and give it a go. I mean, it's dead easy for them to be able to do, and because you're not having to use a glue gun or anything, there's no death or mismemorement or major burns or anything involved. So from that standpoint, you'll be giving back the children intact, which is always a plus, right? I mean, my kids appreciate when Grandma sends the kids home still in one piece. It's always a little bit challenging, since I'm the one that take them on hikes up by cliffs and things. But you know, it is how it goes. So super quick, super easy. You know what? I'm really kind of taking this now. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this and whether you'd actually see it or not. But okay, one more tie that just snuck down inside my pillow when I was stuffing it. So let me grab those, and you'll see the actual final product. So there we go. See what I mean about the lobes? I think we can make it taller and a little less, but the fabric that I got, I kind of went with the height. So I think I like this side best. I like the red. I like the red side versus the white. Personal preference, this is the way I'm gonna take the pic. Let me know what you think of this one. Give it a try, nice and easy and kind of a lot of fun, and certainly a fairly inexpensive, quick little Valentine's project if you were looking to give a little something to somebody. Hope you enjoyed this one. Look forward to seeing you on the next. Take care.